Have you ever felt like your mind is a browser with just way too many tabs open? You know, that constant buzz of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists that makes it pretty much impossible to focus. Well, today we're going to dive into a brilliantly simple technique to finally declutter your mind and get some of that mental peace back.
Just take a second and really think about it. Right now, is your mind just buzzing? We all know what this feels like. It's that sense of being totally overloaded, where your thoughts are pulling you in 100 different directions all at once. It's absolutely exhausting.
You know, there's actually a name for this state: mental clutter. It's this heavy, invisible weight of unprocessed thoughts, anxieties, and all those tasks you haven't finished yet. It just drains our energy, it kills our focus, and it stops us from feeling calm and present. It's honestly like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks.
To really get a handle on this mental burden, let's try an analogy that just makes perfect sense. I want you to think of your overwhelmed mind as a really messy room.
I mean, the comparison here is pretty spot on, right? A messy room feels chaotic, it's uncomfortable to be in, and you can never find what you're looking for. Well, a cluttered mind works the exact same way. It causes that mental discomfort, makes it impossible to find a clear thought, and just feels totally disorganized. So, just like cleaning that room brings this amazing wave of relief and order, clearing out your mind can do the same thing for your inner world.
Okay, so how do we clean up this mental mess? Well, the solution is a powerful yet incredibly simple technique called brain dumping. Seriously, think of it as just taking out the mental trash. So, what is brain dumping exactly? It's really just the act of getting your thoughts out of your head. You take every single thing that's swirling around in there, the big stuff, the small stuff, the rational, the totally irrational, and you just put it down on paper. And the key here, the most important part, is without any filter or judgment. This is not about writing a masterpiece. It's all about release.
And you don't need anything fancy. A simple notebook and a pen, that's literally all it takes. You have to forget about good grammar or perfect spelling or even making complete sense. The only goal is to get the thoughts out of your head and onto the page. Perfection isn't just not required, it's actually discouraged.
Now, this is a really crucial point. This is not just some productivity hack or a fancy to-do list. At its core, brain dumping is a tool for emotional release. It's about finally acknowledging all those negative emotions, worries, and anxieties by giving them a physical form, and that's what helps clear out your subconscious.
All right, let's get into the specifics. To make this whole practice even more effective, author Nick Trenton actually outlines 5 different techniques you can use. First up is free writing. This is your classic brain dump. You just set a timer for, say, 10 minutes and you just write, continuously, without stopping. The little psychological trick here is that it bypasses your internal editor, which lets all those subconscious thoughts come to the surface without you judging them. Whatever pops into your mind, it goes on the page. Simple as that. Next, you've got the categorized dump. This one is perfect for when your thoughts feel especially chaotic. You basically create columns for different areas of your life, like work, personal, or worries, and you sort your thoughts into these buckets. This helps your brain shift from feeling overwhelmed by one giant mess to seeing several smaller, much more manageable piles. Then there's a more visual approach, which is often called mind mapping. With this, you start with a central idea in the middle of the page. Let's say anxiety. And then you draw branches out for all the thoughts connected to it. This gets the visual part of your brain involved and can really help you see the relationships between your worries that you might not have noticed before. The nighttime dump is a really targeted routine. Just before you go to bed, you offload all the day's worries and tomorrow's to-do lists onto a page. This works like a mental reset. It signals to your brain that these thoughts have been captured and you can deal with them tomorrow, which really helps calm your mind for a better night's sleep. And finally, we have the gratitude dump. This one is so powerful for shifting your perspective. So alongside all the problems and anxieties you're writing down, you consciously make a list of things you're thankful for. What this does is it actively fights our brain's natural tendency to focus on the negative, and it forces you to acknowledge the good stuff, which helps balance out the whole mental picture.
So what do you get for all this? What's the big payoff? Well, it's actually pretty significant. You're investing a tiny amount of time for a huge return in mental clarity.
And that's really all it takes, just 10 to 15 minutes a day. I mean, that's less time than a lot of us spend just scrolling through social media. It's an incredibly small investment for the kind of mental transformation we're talking about here.
And this is why it matters so much. The benefits are both practical and really profound. Regular brain dumping directly attacks overthinking. See, when your thoughts are down on paper, they're just easier to analyze, which naturally leads to clearer, better decision-making. But on a much deeper level, it's a form of emotional healing. It creates a safe space to finally process old grief, pain, and guilt that you might have been carrying around for years.
So if you're feeling a little hesitant or maybe you're worried you won't know what to write, just remember this. The instruction is so simple. Write without stopping, without thinking. Don't edit yourself. Just let it all flow out. The magic is in the act of releasing, not in the quality of what you write.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. You have the tool, you know the techniques, and you understand all the benefits. The only thing left to do is to actually do it. So when are you going to pick up that pen and start your first brain dump?